Hello, welcome back to Blend Sushi LiveNoding. In this video, I will try to rethink of procedural pipe creations using SphereChalk add-on in Blender. So imagine if you have to recreate this setup, like a pipe with a lot of connections. And you can, of course, do this manually. You just need a couple of cylinder that's with these shapes, and then you just need to rotate and reposition. So I will try to recreate this using SphereChalk for now, and this is gonna be the hard way to do things. But later on, you will see that once you understand the idea, you can actually have a setup where you can easily make the changes to the length and then to the radius of the cylinder, and everything will conform to that automatically. So let's get started. So let's gonna delete everything, and let's see. There are many different ways to do this, but I will do this the most basic one. And this is rethinking pipe. So we know that a cylinder, if we just connect it to Viva Draw, we get a cylinder. To make it as a pipe, we just get rid of the caps. Okay, so we have something that's more like a kind of like a pipe. You can control the height, the number of subdivisions, and vertices. For now, I just let's use just 12 vertices. The radius can be changed at any time. I'm gonna keep it at one for now. I will, if you search for a node, you might notice there's bend object along path and bend object along surface. The bend object along path actually can be really useful for what we are doing if we want to do like a more complex pipe. But for now, we're just gonna use a simple deformations and simple deformation, and see by default we are getting a twist. We're just gonna use bend, and we're gonna bend it at angle. So you can see by default it's bending the cylinder that way. That's not what we want. We want to rewire the cylinder so it's facing the z-axis. Actually from x to z. Let's see, what was that before? Before, the cylinder is like going in the z-axis, but we kind of rewire it so z goes to x. Okay, so that's more correct. And now we can bend the cylinder 45 degree. So this angle is in a radian, so we're gonna use math pi. Where is pi? This guy. Plug into the angle. So 180, making it cyclic. Let's make it 0.25 or 0.5 rather. So that's 45 degree angle, and that should fit the cylinder. If you look at from orthographic angle, exactly 45 degree, right? So the next thing we need to do is just to have another cylinder here and there. So that's the most basic pipe. So let's have another cylinder, connect to viewer draw, get rid of the caps, give a different color for this non-bending cylinder. So we need to rotate this guy. We're gonna use matrix. So this is gonna be an interesting exercise if you never worked with transformation matrix this way. So by default it's 0, 0, 1. We need to rotate it in y. So 0, 1, 0. Rotate it minus 90 degree, and we just need to connect it there. I think that should be just 0, 0, 0. We can set this to 12 as well. Increase the subdivision a little bit. So we have second cylinder, and for the next one I just duplicate the whole nodes. This is actually the more manual way to do things. At some point I will show you how you can connect the end and the start of the pipe, so everything is more procedural and easy to create. Okay, let's go back to the top view, and this is 12, and so we have this guy. Move it like that, and it's already rotated. Let's zero it out. Okay, we need to rotate it in X. 1, 0, 0, 90 degrees, minus 90 degrees. Go to the top view, and then move this guy. Let's try position 1 and 1. That's not correct. Move it slightly like that. So we have the second cylinder. How about the next one? We can duplicate this guy and then simply move it up there. That's the easiest way I could think of. So something like that. And we just need to rotate it. So rotate it in the z-axis and rotate it minus 180. So we're going to be dealing a lot with transformations, angle, and positions. There are actually another way to think of this pipe, but really this is the one of the easiest. Let's delete that. Place it in place. Let's place it there. If you want to rotate this pipe, the second bendy one, you can use matrix math, and let's connect this and then rotate it at this point. Perhaps rotate it in Y. -90 and don't move it. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe I need to pause. That's minus 180. Move it. Okay, something like that. Move it into position. Yeah, I think that's a bit easier to do. Well, actually, okay, that should be 1 unit. So rotation, okay, that's interesting. The rotation is at different spot, but anyhow, you get the main idea. Basically, if you want to do this kind of pipe, right, and you want to be still able to control the radius, you can do it this way. So at any time in point, we can connect a number to all the radius of this cylinder, and you get a different pipe. So this is like a procedural thinking, yeah, even though it's really basic, and you still have a bit of manual works, but you can change the parameter of the cylinder, and the pipe remains the same at their position. So this is one way to think of this. Would be nice if you can just rotate one pipe and the one that's connected is gonna update, but that's gonna be for the next live noding. So yeah, you can practice this method if you like, and at one point I really want to make it so that if we have like pipe that we draw using grease pencil, for example, we can simply have like a connections automatically. So that's gonna be the next exercise. All right, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.